Ladies and gentlemen, we are live in ATL. I made my way down here. I want to go ahead and record my whole entire experience, vlogging and everything, but I can't come over there and do this show by myself. I had to get ATL's finest in the building when I go ahead and do that. But before we go ahead and introduce them, let's just go ahead and start the show. What up? What's good? What's happening? It's your boy Big Herb, and welcome to another episode of Off the Bench. We are on our way to 1,000 subs, and currently, right now, we are at 252. So be sure to help me out. Like I always say, every single episode, help me grow so we can do more. So with that, I need you to hit that like, comment, hit the notification bell, and subscribe to the channel. But like I said in the intro, look here, I'm in Atlanta. I got my man down here that I'm about to introduce. So before I go any further, man, let me go ahead and introduce this next cat that's on sec. I got to set because you know how I am as far as with these intros. I got to make sure that they go ahead and get the thorough intro that they deserve. So starting off. So we got live direct here from Atlanta, Commander King. He's all about his numbers. He's all about his stats. He's all about the know-how, the ins and out. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to the homie, Street Score Zone, Rico. My man, what's going on, bro?
What's good, man? Happy to be here. Let's do it, man. It's game time.
I'm just happy to have you on again, man. I mean, like I always say, man, with you guys, man, you guys, I got to give you your flowers whenever I get a chance to bring you on here, man. It's a pleasure having you on. You know, it's the reach that you guys get, the know-how that you have about this game, the ins and outs. I have to give you credit for it, man. But before we go any further, man, I have to go ahead and say this, man. What do you think of your chances of your dogs beating Bama this weekend?
Oh, I like them. I like them more than I typically like them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because even last year with Jalen Milroe, like even without Nick Saban, Jalen Milroe is just a weapon, bro. And they, you know, you can get away with it in college. I don't think he'll get away with it at the NFL level, but in college, bro, we were losing to Jalen Milroe, Ryan Williams, and friends, basically. And they still got Ryan Williams. And honestly, you could argue they have the best overall receiving core in college football. I don't think a lot of Alabama's receivers outside of Ryan Williams get enough credit. And Ty Simpson's good. But I just don't think they have enough game changers. And this may be Alabama's worst defense in double-digit years. So they still have talent, though. They got 4 stars and 5 stars. Yeah. But yeah, it isn't the shutdown, lockdown. I mean, especially again, I think their biggest weakness on their entire team right now is they can't stop the run. So I think we're gonna win.
Because I definitely am looking at it from the standpoint of this, like it's almost giving like that with Bama's receivers, they're almost giving a rival to how great the receivers are with LSU and Ohio State. And it's just like, man, I gotta say like, hey, how you feeling about that matchup this weekend? So I mean, yeah. But it's great. Like I said, it's always great to have you on, bro. But let's get down to the nitty gritty because we about to really get down to talking about our Commanders. So next up, ladies and gentlemen, we currently have to take on Sunday the 1 and 2 Dirty Birds in Atlanta, the Atlanta Falcons. Last week they took a damn good beating. And I know Rico is happy about this because he hates them just as much as we hate the Cowboys. So I mean, they took an ass whipping, belt to ass, 30-0 against the Carolina Panthers. Where the hell did that happen at? I mean, it was so bad that Michael Penix got benched for Kirk Cousins. I gotta get. What's your thoughts on that, man?
First of all, they thought getting rid of Young Wei Koo was going to solve all of their problems, so I was happy to see that not fix anything. I've been the biggest Young Wei Koo fan for the first year and 2 games. So last year and like a quarter, man, I've been the biggest Young Wei Koo fan with him selling the Falcons and everything like that. Has been amazing. But it was just a weird because I went back and finally watched it. I didn't see it live. I just thought it was ridiculous that they never got past the Carolina Panthers 30-yard line the entire game. They're the first team to do that in 2 NFL seasons. That is incredible, bro. And I mean, it was like they could move from the 30 to 30 easily. It was just once they got there, they would just fumble it away, sell it away. Michael Penix throwing pick sixes. It was uncharacteristic of him. And I also feel like the Falcons aren't doing a good job of utilizing his skill set. He has a really good arm, and they don't take the shots. I know their starting right tackle and even their second string right tackle are all out, and so maybe they feel like the offensive line can't hold up long enough to do it. But Michael Penix's bread and butter is deep shots, and they don't even really attempt them.
Because my thing was even this. I looked at the case of, man, like last week, how embarrassing that loss was with them. What's his name? Michael Penix threw that interception. And then on top of that, like he tried to run dude down and tried to tackle him. And then he fell on the ground. And then he was like trying to scramble up and get him. And dude's like, are you seriously trying to tackle me right now? What are you doing? Like, get up off the ground. Try to do better. It's embarrassing. But and even like I seen as far as because I mean, obviously another thing that we're gonna talk about next up is that Jaden Daniels, his injury can possibly sideline him this week, or is he possibly gonna play? And I've even saw some as far as like some guys in Atlanta that was sitting there saying, if Mariota starts, and he wins, you got to fire Raheem Morris. And I'm like, guys, hey, wait, you do realize that he's a lot better over here than he was when he was down there with Shaw. Yeah, sure, it was embarrassing that he came over there and quit in the middle of the game and everything. But I mean, it was just like, hey, don't take it to the point to where it's like he's not. Like you saw what we put up 40 points on, and we really should have put up 55 on the Raiders last week. And I mean, the fact that he was able to do whatever it is that he really wanted, the offense looks looks balanced. What's the name? Terry was able to get his long catch or do it him being an injury, and I mean, we're going to talk about that in a second. But I mean, it was just the fact of the matter that we were able to do whatever the hell we wanted, and we got back to Commander football from last year. And it looks like, and it didn't look like we were stagnant, just doing the same thing over and over. The week prior, where you couldn't move the ball, you couldn't block the ball, you couldn't block, you couldn't run, you couldn't do anything. And it was just the fact that I thoroughly enjoyed watching us get back to where we were last week. And I think we could go ahead and do it this Sunday against the Falcons. So tell me what you think.
Man, I mean, first of all, on our end, I mean, we finally got back to running the ball. Like to your point, like one of our biggest identities from last year that had us so successful is that we were so good at running the ball. And then we may not even necessarily be any particular running back. It would just be, you look at the end of the game, we have 150 yards rushing total between the quarterback, the running back, or whatever. I love Bill's potential to make a guy miss 2 yards behind the backfield and then to turn it into a 5-yard gain. He has some of the best 5-yard rushes I've ever seen in a burgundy and gold uniform. I think it's only a matter of time that they finally unleash him and like he gets a lot of the. I feel like they're kind of saving him for like the long playoff run, December football and stuff like that. I feel like it may be a while until we really get to see JCM in the capacity that we want to. But I mean, my main thing going from the Packers to the Raiders game is like, why didn't we run the ball like that versus the Packers? We never even tried to. The game was never out of reach enough to where we needed to abandon the run in the way that Cliff Kingsbury did. So I just feel like if we stick to that, I think it's hard for any team to beat us. If you can't stop the run, you can't stop anybody from doing anything. And I think now, I mean, some people are saying Marcus Mariota should play another week, not even because of Jaden's injury, but they just felt like when Marcus Mariota is in the game, we run better. I feel like that was far more Cliff Kingsbury than Jaden Daniels at all. So I think Jaden Daniels, with that effort of trying to run the ball consistently throughout a game, with that same running scheme, that same diversified running game, I think if anything is going to be even better and deadlier against the Falcons. And I'm not too worried about that. I mean, right now, obviously their biggest thing is Bijan Robinson. And our biggest struggle last year defensively, it may not necessarily be that way this year so far, but our biggest struggle last year was outside zone runs. Anybody could run to the outside against us. And Bijan Robinson is arguably the best running back at that in the NFL. So that right there is like our biggest weakness
Major
compared
test.
to what the Falcons do well. Yeah, biggest test for sure. But other than that, man, I like our matchups. I like our matchups on a lot because again, they're down to their third string right tackle. He is a turnstile. And with how Dorrance Armstrong has been playing, Von Miller, even Javonte Jean-Baptiste stepping up, I don't think Michael Penix is going to have any more fun than he had against the Carolina Panthers. Maybe they score points because, again, they were shut out against the Panthers. Maybe they score points, but I don't think it's going to be any more fun than what he had last week. And to your point, Raheem Morris is going to be on that hot seat after this game because I think we do him dirty enough in Atlanta. First of all, we're going to take over the stadium. Atlanta fans, especially for the Falcons. Georgia's different. Braves are slightly different, but Falcons, they first of all, they barely show up in the first place, and let alone they get down 10-0, they're gone. And it'll literally turn into a burgundy and gold home game.
I don't know what happened just right there, but I want to talk. Lil C White was in the comment section. He said both Marshawn Lattimore and Trey Amos are expected to play Sunday versus Atlanta Falcons. Both practice full, which is very good sign for Washington Commanders defense. I couldn't agree more, and I'm glad that you brought that up, Lil C White, because you've been the MVP in the comment section. So let's go ahead and talk about these injuries. So for starters, we already heard about the Hornets situation with Terry being injured and JD being injured. So my thoughts as far as Jaden playing this week, if you don't need him that much, then I wouldn't rush to go ahead and do it. I mean, you always want him, but if he's not 100%, it's not like we're playing the Chargers this week. Chargers, I am nervous about. I'm not even gonna hold you, but as far as like with this whole entire situation, just you got the Falcons at a great time where they literally got, what's the word I could say without trying to get canceled? Bitch slapped this past weekend, and it's like hey, they I mean, like the pimp named Slipback just came in here and just did whatever he wanted to with them, and I mean, and I think he wears number 9 at quarterback. So I mean, it was just crazy to just see him just go ahead and do whatever he wanted to. But of course, John Bates is still out with a groin and calf injury. He didn't practice yesterday. Noah Brown. There's Noah Brown. There's 3 things in life that's guaranteed: death, taxes, and Noah Brown injuries. And that's just what it is at this point. He's got a groin and a knee injury. Percy Butler has a hip injury. Ja'Cory Crosby-Merritt, who I didn't even know he got a knee injury, but I think he should be all right for this weekend. Zach Ertz, Von Miller, Deron Payne, Laramie Tunzel, they got it's old man break time. We already know about them. They're not really hurt. They just got a break. Trey Amos, like we said, like Lil C said in the comment section, he played today. Colson Yankoff is another one who was full practice the other day. So my thing as far as this, majority of the guys, I think they're going to be coming back in and everything, but we should be good. Jaden, I'm not rushing. Trey Amos, honestly, I feel like he's the best corner that we have on this team thus far.
Easily.
He showed us throughout the last couple of weeks. And I mean, and it's not just our team or it's not just our rookies. It's actually the league. And I mean, he's top 10 as far as coverage. He's only gave up, I want to say, out of like maybe 15 or 20 passes, he's only gave up 4. And it's not like, hey, we got a bomb on it. It's like, no, I've only gave up like 15 yards total. So, and he's legit. And I want to get to the comment section. Rudy says Jordan McGee is about to show out this game. I hope he will. And he also says, Bill. And you know, because you said that, man, I got to go ahead and just play this little clip right here, man. Because, I mean, we give respect to what credit's due. Because Bill is just showing out. And, I mean, we hope that he goes ahead and shows out this week. But yeah. Even as far as with the whole entire situation with the Falcons, their injury list consists of Nate Carter, who had a hamstring injury. Kadero Hodge has a growing hamstring with AJ Terrell, who I honestly think, as far as him not playing, it favors the Commanders because with Terry out this week, obviously it bodes well for him. And what's the name? You have Jabal Agnew, wide receiver, growing. He was limited the other day. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. Halamus. He's safety. He had a hamstring injury. He's limited. James Pierce, the rookie linebacker, had a growing injury. He was limited. Kyle Pitts, who pisses off all fantasy football members, had a toe injury that was limited. And Casey Washington, wide receiver, had a concussion. And I'm just gonna keep it a buck. I mean, maybe it's just me, man, but I ain't nervous about this game. Are you?
Nah, I mean, even with AJ Terrell, I'm not nervous, but especially without him, bro. That's their best defensive player, period. Now, that's not me just, he's a Westlake alum, you know what I'm saying? Shouts out to my dog, AJ Terrell. But, I mean, he literally made Terry McLaurin have arguably his worst game all last season. And, of course, I mean, with us potentially not having Terry McLaurin for this game, that would trickle down if AJ Terrell were here. We're healthy to like a Deebo Samuel or to whoever else he needs to cover. And I feel like it would be even worse. And so not having him would allow us to open up the passing game so much more, which would make our run game even easier because they may have to, without AJ Terrell, you automatically have to dedicate more bodies to coverage. And if you do that against this team that wants to run the ball, they're going to be in for it. I don't see us punting often this game. We'll see what our defense does on their end. But I just, especially with the AJ Terrell injury and the DeMarco Hellams injury and stuff like that, I just don't see us punting very often. I think it's going to be, maybe it may not be necessarily a lot of touchdowns, but I think we'll score a lot of points. I think it's going to be a bunch of trips to the red zone, touchdown, field goal, touchdown, field goal. So I'm not nervous at all, man.
I'm nervous about them field goals. I will say that.
Attempted field goals.
And I'm going to say, in the words of Rio, Matt Gay needs to get straight and fix them damn kits. Because, I mean, I don't know what's going on with that, bro. But, I mean, he bounced back, so I give him credit when credit's due. But also one thing, yes, and I don't know why the hell. I said this on Burgundy Breakdown yesterday. By the way, go and give them guys a like and a follow and a subscribe to their channel. I said on them last week, like, I like Pete Carroll. I was a big fan of his when he was over at USC. I was a fan of his when he was in Seattle. But he for some reason he always shoots himself in the foot. It's like, hey, you know that this guy Matt Gay doesn't hit anything past a 49-yard kick. If you just look at the scouting report, that just says, like, once you get a 49 yards, you're good. You gave him you tried to ice him. And he didn't need icing. He was already back. Even when you iced him, he missed the kick. And he ends up kicking a 56-yard field goal. And you look what you did to yourself. I mean, what did you learn? You got 3 more points put on your head because you wanted to be the smarter guy in the room. And I mean, I guess you're trying to do that, but you're overthinking like you did with Marshawn Lynch at the goal line. Come on. Some things you just don't have to do. Let that shit pan out the way that you want to. Looking in the comment section, Lil C says, Bill did some practice work on the side with the conditioning staff. I do expect him to have a full participation tomorrow and play on Sunday. Here's the one thing I have to give credit to, and I actually got to give the credit to you because you was the one who pointed it out to me. Their training staff with the Commanders has to be one of the best in the league. Zach Ertz played 20 games last year. And here's the thing. He almost didn't because he got a concussion in the game against the Saints last year because I was at that one. And I'm looking at it from the standpoint of where it's like, hey, Zach Ertz didn't even play a whole full season the year prior and the year before that. So I got to give you credit on that dude too, dog. We got another comment in here. TMB June says, yo, what's good? Defense needs to eliminate big plays and limit the runs. Let's not leave too much meat on the bone. Pause. This week time to finally force a turnover. Yes, I thoroughly believe that. And because I believe that, I fully believe we need to talk about the keys of victory. And I got to ask you, because, I mean, you 30 years old now?
Yes, sir.
So I got to. You know about Styles P and Jada Kiss, how they go back and forth with their flow.
Hmm. The whole
So
D block and everything. Hmm.
exactly. So I'm gonna go ahead and go back and forth with you on this one. So you give me one of your keys to victory, where you feel like we need to go ahead and win. I go and get mine. We go back and forth and back and forth. So I guess I'll start it off. We need to continue to play fast, free, and physical. You seen what happened last week when you actually you didn't have to think. You just went in there, played your game, and automatically everything just starts boom, 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 boom. You're able to move the ball down the field with no problem. You didn't look stagnant. You knew what runs you had to do. You knew what passes you had to do. Everybody looked fluid out there. So I think that's one of the things that we definitely need to do. And I'm going to dish the ball over to you.
And then to play off of that, get the points when they're there. Don't fumble on their side of the field. Don't miss field goals. Get those points, because we had an easy chance to go up pretty big on the Raiders early to just completely deflate everything they had going on. And then we probably get up out of there, maybe even with less injuries, because we have such a large lead. And same thing with the Falcons. We were already the home team there. You can become the home team with the Falcons in Atlanta is if you just come out swinging. You go up 10-0, 14-0, they're gone.
I thoroughly agree with that. One thing that I also think that we should do, balance attack. You see what happens when we actually can run the ball. I looked at one thing that last week that during the game, we had like 256 yards total in the game against Green Bay. Last week during just the first half, we had like 260 and 11 first down. I think the week prior we had 15 in the whole game. We had 11 in the first half. We had 10 points in the first quarter, in the first half there. We had 20 last week. And you see what happens when you have a balanced attack. When you balance everything out, passes get open, receivers get open a little bit more. Play action pass gets a little bit better. Everything else that you predicate on trying to be whenever JD is in here or Marcus Mariota's in here, everything just opens up and it's more like, oh, we can move the ball downfield. And here's the thing: it's not just what we all want Bill to go ahead and have a big day. Bill don't have to have a big day, because you see what happens when you go ahead and give. And well, honestly, my boy got robbed at Angry Runs last week.
Oh man,
So he got
man.
robbed. So, but yeah, well, hold on a second. We got some comments in the comment section. Lil C White says, an advantage going into this Atlanta game is they are the worst offense on third down, and Washington's defense is the best on third down. And Lil C, I remember you pointed out last week, and credit to you, my brother. Rudy comes over and says defense will be able to stop Bijan with no problem. I'm not going to say no problem, because he was a 2,000-yard scrimmage back last year, and we can't overlook him. I do think that he's the only big weapon other than Drake London. So I will go ahead and give him credit on that. And the homie Zell says, what's good, fellas? How confident are y'all with the young receivers with Terry being out? I'll go first. I'm not at all. So, I'll let you go and answer that, man.
I mean, am I confident in the receivers individually? Not necessarily, but especially if Jaden Daniels is out there, or even if he's not, just the offensive system and Marcus Mariota can, continue to drive the car just as if Jaden Daniels is nearly driving it. But I mean, I feel like my proof is with how Jaden Daniels was able to ball out with Olamide Zaccheaus and Jamison Crowder. He had one game last year where each of those two guys I just named had 2 touchdowns each. So Jaden Daniels can do it with whoever. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not individually confident in any particular wide receiver, but I just feel like Jaden Daniels can get it done with whoever he has at his arsenal, especially if AJ Terrell is out.
Mm-hmm. I think because JD is such a force multiplier that when he's in there, you have to worry about him running. So with him running, that opens up every single thing else for the receivers. You put him in man coverage, you better have a spy out there. You put him in zone coverage, he's going to go ahead and find those open spots. And he's tremendous when it comes to dotting up receivers. Everybody was wondering, like, oh, can he go ahead and hit the middle of the field? Yeah, he can. He's that good. And I mean, and I honestly believe whoever we have starting, Debo showed that he is efficient when he's used correctly. Kyle Shanahan has showed us like, hey, I can use them on gadget plays. I can use them on comeback routes or anything like that, screen plays and stuff like that. It's just like Cliff Kingsbury knows that he's the mad scientist that knows how to use Deebo Samuels. I think Jalen Lane, at this point, all he need to do is just catch the ball. He had a touchdown last week. And I mean, he's walking away with 2 touchdowns, and we don't have to vote as hard for the and I have to give credit to the homie because he won Pepsi Zero Sugar Rookie of the Week. We ain't got to work that hard because he got 2 touchdowns. So credit to the homie Jalen Lane on that. Another person that what's the name? Key to victory that I have to go ahead and say. Defensive line needs to stop Bijan Robinson, like I just said earlier. I do believe in, and I give credit to Rico when he said this earlier last year, we were some shit when it ever came to run defense. We look at every single running back that we went up this year, the most they got was 80 yards. And I mean, and it's not like 80 yards on like 15 carries. It's 80 yards on like 24 carries. So, I mean, you lowering it down to 3 yards a carry. That's a good look for everybody out there. So I'll go ahead and let you get in on this, man, because I mean, yeah, I want to hear what you guys say.
And to that point, first of all, yes, the defensive line has to be dominant. I feel like we've done a great job with getting constant pressure on the quarterback, only rushing 4. I feel like that's one of the biggest like advantages that our defense has compared to what we had last year. But also to the point of stopping Bijan Robinson, it's not only the D line, but to Rudy's point, bringing up Jordan McGee earlier, Bobby Wagner and Frankie Louvu are great in like a tunnel, like in small spaces. But I think one of the main reasons we were so weak against outside runs last year is because those guys weren't good at getting outside and, sideline to sideline type of stuff. And Jordan McGee being hurt last year, we didn't have that. Now he's healthy. This may be the game that makes Commanders fans finally appreciate the fact that he's on the team. I can see him out there in space against Bijan Robinson, and he's the one that, that gets a lot of the tackles because they're going to run outside more than they run inside. And then, of course, we need the guys to set the edge on the defensive line as well, which we do. Not going from Dante Fowler to Dorrance Armstrong playing more, or even like Javonte Jean-Baptiste, we are a better edge setting team than we were last year as well. Mm-hmm. So if there's any time we can stop a Bijan Robinson, you can't stop him. You suppress him a little bit. This is the year.
Lil C. White, who has been killing in the comment section as late. By the way, before we get into it, be sure to hit that like, comment, and subscribe on the channel. Like I say every single time, help us grow so we can do more. As a matter of fact, I want to go and stop the show real quick. When you finish up here, if you're not subscribed to the homie Street Scores Rico, be sure to go on his channel, Street Score. Hit that like, comment, share, subscribe. This guy is very informative whenever it comes down to it. In my opinion, he's a stat king when it comes down to it because he got stats on stats on stats. I mean, so it's actually very intriguing to see. Just a quick little rundown, story time. I found out about Rico just him going through and just putting down the stats and everything. I was like, damn, this guy's very informative, and I'm at work just listening. I'm like, damn, he knows what the fuck he's talking about. I got to listen to more of this. So, I mean, and like I said, every single time you come up on the show, I want you to walk away feeling like you know something. And with this guy over here, he knows his thing. Going on to Lil C says, a guy I believe in to step up without Terry is Jalen Lane. I believe so. He catches that pass last week that he dropped in the end zone. That's 2 touchdowns on the day. Zell also comes in and says, we haven't seen a true zone run scheme yet this season, which is our biggest issue last year. This will be the biggest test for our run defense by far. I agree wholeheartedly. Mm-hmm. Lil C comes back in here and says, what's your guys' thoughts on Trey Amos so far? Like I said early in the show, I think he is the best corner that we have on this team. I also believe that he is one of the best in the league at this point in the first 3 weeks. I'm not going to go ahead and say that he's best in the league. I'm just saying as of the first 3 weeks, he's been very good. If you've seen the last episode that we had last week, I thought that he's flirting around with rookie season Sauce Gardner, with the potential of him playing and shutting down the whole entire side that he's on. He's been very consistent. He's and with the limited time that he had on the season in the preseason, because he's only played 1 game, if I'm not mistaken. The first, I'm sorry, he played 2 games. The game against the Bengals he didn't play, but yeah. And I'm sorry. What's your thoughts on Trey Amos?
I mean, I'm loving what I'm seeing. I mean, first of all, he has a grill. So as soon as we drafted him, I was like, yeah, that's my favorite player on the team. I should have probably worn one of mine for this.
Where for the game? Where for the game?
Oh yeah, for sure for the game. Man. I don't really step out the house without it. Even if I go grocery shopping, I have at least one of them. But I mean, I love Amos, man. And to your point, he's already playing like a top 10 corner. And I feel like a lot of people don't understand how insane that is, because to me, it's between quarterback and cornerback that are the hardest to go from college to the NFL and perform
that part
well and consistently early on, like in your rookie season, bro. That is really tough to be a cornerback and to go make that jump. That's why Kamari Lassiter, Georgia Dog, last year was so impressive to so many people, because immediately right out the gate, him and Derek Stingley kind of, going into he had some banged up injury years. But finally last year, the fully healthy season, and that whole young cornerback core right there was just balling, and that was really impressive. And even to Mitchell from last year, that was pretty impressive. But I would say Trey Amos is better than anything we ever got from Quinyon Mitchell last year, because Quinyon Mitchell had safety help. Trey Amos is on an island with guys like Malik Neighbors. It's not like he's just going again. I mean, yeah, the I wouldn't say the Packers, any particular wide receiver stands out, or for the Raiders as well. But against Malik Neighbors and holding them to one of his worst games of the season already, Trey Amos is the real deal. He's our best corner. He's one of the best. I mean, but I feel like that's without being said, with him being a top 10 corner, to your point, or in the NFL already, 3 games into his rookie season.
And I mean, and just to piggyback on what you said, I do think that he actually, because that fourth down play where the receiver, I think it was Dobbs, he was wide open in the end. No, I'm sorry, Golden, the kid that from Texas. He was wide. Yeah, Golden was wide open in the end zone, and Trey came out of nowhere and just swatted the ball away on fourth down. I mean, and he had no help whatsoever
on that. Last year doesn't even get their head turned around. That's the
we got St. Juice, or we got St. Juice or Forbes. That's 6. And I'm not even trying to shit on it. That's just facts. Rudy comes in and says McGee can fix the covering the tight end. As much as I love Wagner, we can't have him covering tight ends. You know what? Okay. And I want to go ahead and say this, because, and it's not a shot at him. It's more so a shot at the team, because since I think the like 2005, we couldn't cover any goddamn tight ends. I remember Brett Selleck killing us. What's his name? Zach Ertz, Witten. All of these tight ends that just you would think that they was a second coming of Shannon Sharp or Kellen Winslow Sr. just kicking our ass every single time. For over a decade and a half, we couldn't cover tight ends. For the life of me, I don't understand. I didn't even know who the fuck Kraft was until this game that just happened. I mean, and he had a stat day on that one. So, I mean, we have to do better with the stat. But at the same time, I'm looking at it from the standpoint of this. We're still in a rebuilding mode. Yes, we got to the NFC Championship. A rebuilding mode takes years to go ahead and rebuild this team the way that it needs to be built. It just so happens we got to the NFC Championship and we got the better quarterback against the Eagles. So, yeah, I'm throwing a shot. I don't give a fuck. It is what it is. And I mean, please, Rico, if I'm lying, please go ahead and correct me.
Nah, you good. I'm right with you. And also, just to go back real quick to the whole Tucker Kraft thing, that's 2 weeks in a row that somebody named Tucker is giving us a real problem. So yeah. I'm worried about any Tucker that we may have to go against. Anybody with the name Tucker, first, last name, whatever, throughout the rest of the schedule, I'm scared. And I went ahead and looked up the Falcons roster. They do not have anybody named Tucker. We should be good to go.
Okay. The last key to victory that I got. Somebody got to force a turnover, because this shit is getting ridiculous as far as we 3 weeks in and have 0 turnovers. I mean, and to our credit, we still haven't turned the ball over. Well, no, I take that back, because Mariota definitely did turn the ball over, thinking that he was Heisman Mariota. But yeah, we're not really turning the ball over that much. I don't even think Daniels has a turnover this year. So with that first that first turnover that we got with Mariota. That's the only turnover that I recall this whole season. But we have to force a turnover at some point. Could you imagine what the offense is going to look like if we go ahead and just get a turnover, a key turnover on in a key moment? And I mean, and Jaden just has to run out the clock, but he pulls off what he did against Tampa Bay. So I mean, that's just something to think about. But what's your last key to victory, man?
Man, I'm just happy that, I mean, and my main thing is the offensive line has to give whoever's at quarterback plenty of time to throw the ball, to dissect the field again, especially if AJ Terrell is not there. But no matter what, the offensive line needs to block well. And this is the first week that we're not going against a premier edge rusher. At the same time, though, the Falcons, I don't know what that Panthers game was, but against the Vikings the week before, they had a load of pressures on JJ McCarthy. You had like 5 or 6 different guys with 3 or more pressures each. Like I was worried after that Vikings game. I was like, whoa, the Falcons coming up. They may not have a Max Crosby or a Micah Parsons or even a Brian Burns or Abdul Carter, but they're kind of like an ensemble of guys that, get pressure. So, even like schematically, there's not one particular person you can focus on taking away. You have to honor and respect everybody. And so that is a little bit of a concern. There's no game changer on the defensive side of the ball necessarily for them. Again, outside of AJ Terrell, especially defensive line. Well, I love my boy Jalen Walker. I think James Pierce Jr., I wanted him here, so I highly respect him as well. But those guys aren't ready yet. They're not ready to take over. They're not ready to beat the offensive line that we have right now. I think we'll be just fine. Just pass, protect, give whoever's quarterback plenty of time to throw the ball. And I think we could put up 40 on them.
I think we can too. Now I will combat you on the Pierce thing because I think his talent is top notch, but he just looks like he looked like a headache coming out of the draft. He was like he gave that Randy Moss I played when I won type vibe, and I was like, I don't know about that shit. I mean that's that Rivera type shit.
He forgot his combine shirt at his hotel. How do you not remember to take it?
I don't get it, but there's something that we ain't got to worry about no more. TNB June says, during that Vikings game, I want to say I remember the commentators mentioning the O-line was hurt. So maybe that played a factor into the Falcons getting that much pressure. And if that's the case, I'm looking at it like, oh, you know what? I have to bring this up because I did bring this up the last game. Chris Paul played like Chris Paul. So, I mean, and I'm talking about the football one. I'm talking about the basketball one. He showed out the whole entire game. No pressures, no, what's the name, QB hits, no sacks, no nothing. And, I mean, we know he's good on the run. I was not aware of your game, sir, when it came to the passing blocking. So credit to you on that one. If he can give us that same energy throughout the last game, albeit it was against the Raiders, I don't give a fuck. These guys are all NFL players at the end of the day. So if you can give me that same energy every single time, I love what we can go ahead and do. The Firm LLC also says, what up, Big Herb? What up, The Firm? Mike Barrett here. Bro, what's up? How's it going, man? Thank you for tapping in. Everybody who is tapping in, I appreciate y'all for going ahead and leaving comments in the comment section. But please be sure to hit that like, comment, share, and subscribe, man. Help us grow so we can do more. Go into the homie Street Score on his channel as well to go ahead and Rico hit him up. Matter of fact, my man is at 29,000 subs, man. Stop playing and get this guy to 30, man. Let's get him to 30. But with the keys to victory, man, there's got to be an X factor on this team that you feel that's going to go ahead and just light it up, man. So I got to ask you, who you think is going to be the X factor for our game on Sunday?
I feel like I'm kind of cheating here because he's arguably been our most consistent offensive player so far through the first 3 weeks. And I feel like, honestly, the only reason he didn't put up crazy stats against the Raiders because at a certain point they realized the game was going to be out of hand. And they just had him chilling on the sideline. No injury, no nothing. Deebo Samuel, bro, I think if there's ever a game with this young defensive line outside of really Leonard Floyd, that whole ensemble right there, their lack of discipline on setting the edge and stuff like that. And then again, potentially no AJ Terrell. I think this is the game that Deebo Samuel goes crazy. I'm looking at betting the overs no matter what the lines are for everything Debo. Rushing yards, receiving yards. I'm probably going to go ahead and do an anytime touch. I think this is the game that he goes absolutely ballistic, man.
Most definitely. I couldn't agree more. What's his name? Too Proficient TV says, always a good day where there is football talk. I couldn't agree more. And I appreciate you coming in and hitting the comment section and telling us that, because I love talking about football. I could talk about this shit all day. I'm a little tipsy my damn self, and I'm in my zone right now talking about football. I love this shit. Lil White says, they're saying that Cosby could be back next week. My thing is this: if he is, that bolsters up the offensive line, who has been playing, other than the Green Bay game, has been playing pretty solid. I like our chances. And I mean, and the credit what Rico said earlier, where Connerly has been in a what's the name? He's basically been baptized. It's been baptism by fire. He's gone up against.
Chamber.
I mean, seriously. I mean, you went up against Brian Burns the first week. You go against Michael Parsons the second week, and then you go to Max Crosby. I mean, come on. At this point, the first two games wasn't good, but I mean, I love the fact that he can bounce back, and we're gonna really see how he can be this week. TMB June says Debo finna eat this week. I hope so. Debo and Zach Ertz. Rudy says Zach Ertz anytime touchdown for sure, and he also says the defense needs to turn over this game, which I wholeheartedly agree. But to go back and talk about my X factor for this week, I'm going to go ahead and say it's going to be Payday Payne. Payday Payne needs to continue his dominance, wreaking havoc in the backfield, containing Robinson and pass rushing. He's been the unsung hero. Between him and Javon Kinlaw has been dominating the offense. I mean, every single game we've got at least about 2 sacks. And I mean, it's constant pressure, run stopping. It has been phenomenal so far this year, man. And I guess we can go ahead and say last but not least. Go ahead.
This goes with players to watch. I'm speaking of Javon Kinlaw and Daron Payne on that defensive line. And also just real quick on Daron Payne, I think he was our highest graded player on the entire team from that last game with like a 90 or something like that. Even to take it back to Chris Paul, even though it's only one game, he's the highest graded guard in all of the NFL after that one game. But to players to watch, sticking with the defensive line, Dorrance Armstrong, man. I mean, he has a sack each game so far this year. And I think he's top 3 or somewhere in pressures right now, at least top 3, maybe top 5 at worst. And so I think this is a great game for him to go out there and again, this third string right tackle that the Falcons have had to start, and it's changed up their entire offensive game plan because he's just literally a turnstile. If there's ever a week that Dorrance Armstrong can go get us 2 of them, is this week. Go. He's leading. He's top 3, top 5 in pressures. I think this is the week that he finally turns those into sacks more often than not. I think this could be like a 2, maybe even more sack game, maybe even 3.
You know, Rico, I hope that you're right. I genuinely do, because at this point, like I said, I'm down here in Atlanta, and I'm hoping to see some great football on our end. Knock on wood, we're undefeated whenever I go on the road. 05, what's the name? We played the game clinching playoff game against the Eagles, where Sean Taylor got his first touchdown. I was at that game. We played what's the name in Jacksonville. We went again and got that W. What was the name? London. No. This was in Jacksonville.
Way back. Okay,
London Fletcher threw his what's the name? His wool cap at me, and I still got that still to this day. Last year, New Orleans. Got that dub last year. So I'm hoping that this Sunday we can go ahead and apply that pressure with Dorrance Armstrong, getting a multi-game stack against that turnstile. Because, I mean, I'm pretty sure the metro system down here, we got a lot of people jumping turnstiles because we definitely got it in the DMV. And I mean, I definitely am.
Our Marta don't really reach that many people. People don't really use it that much like y'all do up there. I can't remember the last time I've been on Marta, man. It's car or nothing down here, man.
Oh wow. So D Monique M says, what do you think about Bill being a DMP again today? Do you think he'll play Sunday? I think he will play. because DQ has always been saying as far as, hey, if you can make it to Friday, then you'll be able to play. If he doesn't play by tomorrow, practice by tomorrow, then I'm going to get concerned. But at the same time, I guess I should be asking the hometown guy on this one. I really don't see them stopping a lot of pressure as far as on the run game when it comes down to the Falcons defense down here. Because I mean, they had that one game against the what's the name of it, the Vikings, but like you said, they were all hurt. And then you're looking at as far as the situation right now with what they did with the Carolina Panthers, they couldn't do squat.
Nothing.
So I mean,
yeah, I'm not. Even if Bill doesn't play, I'm not worried at all. But I think Bill will play. I think we saw even tweets or reports last night from the reporters from the team saying like it was just a little sore and it just kind of taking it easy for them. They're just being overly cautious.
Protective.
It seems like Dan Quinn just really treats Bill like one of his kids. Like I don't know, Bill just gets a different level of treatment. Any bruise, any slightest of anything, he's missing practice. He's missing preseason games. You can tell they really believe in this guy long term, and they don't want to risk his long term for any short term. So they're like, man, we know you can run. We know you, even as a 7th round rookie, you have vision. So it's not like we need you to practice Wednesday and Thursday. To your point, he practices Friday. He's good to go, and I think he will.
Yeah, and the only issue I have with the coaching staff when it comes to Bill is why the hell ain't he starting? I ain't even, but that's just me nitpicking because I mean I'm looking at it from the standpoint of where it's like, dude, he can cut. He's the best cutter on our team, and the fact that he could just cut him, he's death by 1,000 cuts, if you ask me. Lil C writes in the comment section, I think the defense is going to shut down the receivers, especially when they run when they're lucky. Lattimore and Trey are healthy. Agreed. What's the name? He also says,
so we need a Mike Sanders to bounce back game. This is the time for Mike Sanders to finally look like last year.
Yeah, and I mean, and show us what your worth is. Sorry, man, I didn't know. I said it's all good, bro. You the MVP of the comment section today. You've been in the last 2 games, so I mean, thank you for people. We need people like you in the comment section. So I mean, but I'm gonna say people to watch for the game is definitely Trey Amos. Trey Amos has showed us over the last few games that he has been persistent in shutting down whatever receiver comes his way, whether it be Malik Neighbors, Golden. I was saying because that one play, for the most part, it was only one play where Jacoby Myers actually had a good reception. Other than that first drive, I really didn't hear that much from him. Now, I can't speak for Tucker because that goes to Sanders still in the safeties. But I mean, for the most part, it was actually a pretty damn good day as far as when it comes to players to watch. I also want to say another person to watch this week is looking at my notes, Deebo Samuel, and Jalen Lane. Scary Terry is looking like he's not going to be playing this week. So the team's going to rely on their number 2 receiver in his absence. And also, Jalen Lane is the rookie that makes plays on special teams and offense with the loss of McLaurin. The only issue as far as with this whole entire situation is I'm worried about how it's going to be with the special teams because both of them are heavy on special teams, and they make great plays. So I'm not sitting there knocking them for doing it. But what's going to happen as far as like every single time that we see them, Deebo playing, and he goes ahead and returns a 69-yard return, he ends up not playing for 3 straight plays. So, I mean, is that going to affect him in the long term? What's that going to do for him? That's what I'm wondering. Was there any other players to watch that you wanted to check out?
I think Zach Ertz is going to be a big part of this game. I just don't see how the Falcons can cover him. I think, it felt like he had more than 3 receptions against the Raiders. I think this could be a game where, especially with Terry out, they just depend on Zach Ertz more. And he's just always open somewhere in the middle of the field. And through the first 2 weeks, he was forcing defensive holdings, defensive pass interferences left and right and stuff like that. I think he'll be a huge player. Just throw it his way to at least let the refs see what's going on there so they can be able to throw the flag, man. Just abuse the Zach Ertz button against these Falcons, man. They don't have anybody to cover him.
I agree. One thing that TMB June says on here, he says, Last year we had Mike Davis, trash, and BSJ. I don't think Atlanta is going to throw all over us. Yeah, I mean, we didn't have Emmanuel Forbes in that game either. Because I mean, if you see what he did, what Devontae Smith did to him at the end of the game last week, he showed us how good Forbes is. Thanks, Ron Rivera, for going ahead and pick up Emmanuel Forbes, so we can go ahead and just have no second corner on here. And we have to give up a Hornets second round draft pick for Marshawn Lattimore, albeit I hope he is the same Lattimore from the Saints. You know what? I'm not going to sit here and shit on him, because if it wasn't for Ron Rivera, we wouldn't have Jaden Daniels. So I'm going to go ahead and just end it off with that. So,
it was a worthy sacrifice.
It was. It was. Somebody had to be the blood sacrifice. C says, reports say that Terry McLaurin may have a strain. Hopefully, Hopefully, it's a grade 1 level strain, which isn't concerning. It's another level or strain or torn. It might be in trouble. I'm sorry, guys. My screen is actually really little, and I got shitty eyes. But I heard something about he may have a hip flexor or something like that too.
That's what it was like at first, like on Tuesday, it was like quad. Monday and Tuesday quad. Then suddenly Wednesday, it was like sports hernia, hip flexor, and stuff like that. That's like a 3-month injury. And then it seems like earlier today, we've been coming back down to maybe like just a strain or something like that. So I don't know. It's been kind of all over the place. It's been going all over the place, seeking expert opinions from a lot of different people. I'm just hoping it's like a 1 or 2 week thing. Even if he has to miss the Chargers game, I'm hoping he's not out until November or something like that.
Most definitely. Jay Carter, last comment says, curious to see newcomers make the plays this week, Savage and Smith. I am too, because Preston Smith, yeah, I mean, he showed that he isn't just a 6 sack guy. Now granted, he is a little bit older. And my Maryland guy, Darnell Savage, because as much as Rico comes on here and talks about his Georgia Bulldogs, you're always going to get me talking about my Maryland Terps or my Michigan Wolverines. So I got to go ahead and get a shout out to the fact that we brought Savage back, because we have to give credit to when credit's due, because that dumbass Snyder is the reason why we never had Darnell Savage, because Jay Gruden wanted him, but he was hell bent on bringing a quarterback in here. So Wayne Haskins, rest in peace. We're not going to sit there and talk bad about him, because we hope he rests easy. But yeah, he wanted him that much. He was so pressed on having a quarterback that we didn't go in and pick up a pretty good safety in the mix. But hey, it came 360. I'm not bitching and complaining about it. So, but with that being said, man, Rico, I'm so glad that you was able to get on here. And this is the Rico effect, because 24 of y'all are in the comments right now watching the show, and I appreciate every single one of you guys tuning in, tapping in, being sure to leave the comment section the way that you've been doing it. Y'all still bringing in comments. Louis C says, will Reeves start since Perry is likely out? I believe he is. If y'all did not see that hit that he put on the backup running back last week, you need to go ahead and look at that, because the boy Paul, he's laying wood out here. TNB Jones says, with Terry being out, who's worse? Maybe call up Ja'Cory Brooks. Would love if he's able to make a trade to call up Cheetah, but probably not likely. Hopefully, Scary Terry won't be out for long. Imagine Terry, Debo, and Cheetah. Here's the thing, Cheetah, I need you to stop just worry about football at this point, dog. Because I mean, you trying to be Nick Cannon out here. I just need you to just stay focused on football. He's a head case too, and he's getting to a point where he's over 30. Because if I'm not mistaken, he's older than Terry. Yeah, that speed you can't stop that speed, but at the same time, I don't need a head case, because the way that he's looking in it's not to the tier of where your boy in Dallas, what's his name, the receiver, what's his name?
Oh, George Pickens. Yeah,
it's not Pickens status, but it's getting that close. And TB June also says
say Pickens is more angry. Tyreek Hill is just more airhead randomness, like just shenanigans. I feel like he's more shenanigans. Pickens is more possibly gonna fight through a temper tantrum. They're both is too. I think Pickens is worse overall, but I mean they're both. Anything can happen. Any given week, anything can happen.
Because it's also giving us a situation where it's like, hey guys, we're working on some shit here. We actually got something good here. Don't fuck it up by being a head case. And I just feel like there are going to be head cases. TMB Jones says it's good. We went out and got savage. I saw people saying that to go and get CJ Gardner Johnson, but nah, I'm good on him. He bad for the locker room. Here's the thing. Sometimes you need a head case. And I know I literally was just saying the same thing about Sheeta, but for 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 60-minute purposes only, I wanted to pick up CJ Garner Johnson because I know he doesn't fuck with the Eagles right now. And I need that same energy when December comes around. uh all right, so we got Skimmander says, fellas, what it do? The Falcons hate the from Rico. That's the big study. Can we get a quick backdrop as to why the deep rooted Falcon hate? I'm gonna go ahead and let the man go ahead and speak. I'm gonna put the mic down.
I mean, I was just raised here, man. So most of my friends, I mean, it's like a nice group, like a nice diverse group where it's like Bears, Colts, 49ers, Steelers. It's a little bit of everything, but for the most part, I guess like I would say 60-70% of my fans are friends of Falcons fans. So, just going to school every day, middle school, high school, all of that every day. And this is during the Matt Ryan years, and we ain't had nothing going on. I'm gonna let you know right now, because I moved to New York the year like it's like soon after we drafted RG3. So before RG3 ever even played in the game, already moved to New York. So I wasn't even in Atlanta to gloat about that season to my Falcons fans. So basically the whole time I lived in Atlanta up till I guess that year when I moved to New York, it was just Falcons dominance over the Redskins. When we played them, their seasons were better. They're even though 28-3, but they going to Super Bowls, they're winning games. We're just nothing. And I have no trash to talk. The only thing I can say to them is 3 Super Bowls to your 0. That's all I had. Other than that, everything current, they always had the upper hand on me. We would have 1 or 2 wins. They're already at like 6 or 7 in that same season. It was bad, bro. I was catching it. It's like the isolated Redskins fan, nobody else having my back. It was bad. It was a war zone. So I've just grown up to hate them more than anybody because I don't really know the only couple of Cowboys fans I know are actually really good people. They don't even talk that much trash. So I hate the Cowboys because we play them twice a year in the history, but I don't have like a personal hate whenever, school, work, whatever. Falcons. So yeah, I can't stand them. Sorry, Falcons, man. I still root against them no matter what's going on.
At the end of the day, all you gotta do is just say 28-3.
Yeah.
That should conquer everything.
I didn't have that for a lot of years, though. I didn't have that. I didn't have that for a while. That was after I came back from New York that happened. But middle school and high school, it was bad, man.
Lil C. White says, Rico has the best commander report, man, in my opinion. Shout out to Rico. Most definitely, man. We got to give his flowers when he's due, man, because he does his thing. And I appreciate you coming on today. Guys, and Commander says, true that. Most definitely.
No, just let you know how much of a Falcons hater I am. I've gone to Falcons games rooting for the other team. I didn't care who the team was. I'm going there. Like I've gone to a Packers game, rooted for the Packers. Whoever the Falcons are going against, best believe I'm rooting for that team.
Oh, talk about paying top dollar just to go and hate. That is a different letter of hateration I've ever seen.
Sean Taylor jersey on too.
But Rico, man, I appreciate you coming in here, man. It goes without saying, you and the rest of the Commander Kings have been killing it for a while, man. We hope that you guys can come on here, and you're welcome anytime that you come on here. I mean, we got the Rico effect in here. We got 30 people watching the show right now, and I appreciate you all coming in here watching the homie Rico from Street Scores ATL. Is there any way that they can follow? Any other way that they can follow you?
You can find me, especially on Twitter. I need to be better with other social medias, but Twitter, especially Street Scores ATL. That's the @ right there. That's the best way. That's even almost better to reach me there than in my phone. I've just never, even since middle school, high school, college, whatever, I've never been a phone person. You're better off catching me in the party chat. So, So yeah, man, just say if you're trying to reach me, Twitter, follow me there. That's typically where I'm talking about anything, giving my opinions and stuff like that, retweeting stuff. And then of course you can find me on YouTube, Street Scores. And let's do it, man. Shouts out to my boy Big Herb, man. Had to pull up, man. That had to make you, especially like with anybody that was, requesting, and I had to make sure I set aside time for my boy Herb, man. Especially even before you came up for the live show, but especially since you came out to the live in-person show and stuff like that. So we locked in. You already know how that goes, man. Make sure y'all, everybody that likes me, that supports me, man, make sure y'all support my boy Big Herb right here, man, for real.
Appreciate it. I'm not even gonna read one of these damn comments that's in here. Yeah. Big D's.
Oh,
I'm not gonna read that, man. Look here. Look at I cuss a lot, but I'm not reading that shit. Thanks, fellas, for everything you do related to the scene. Most definitely. Andre says, "Was good, Rico? Brody A's, you're off the bench as well." Thank you, fellas.
Where are they?
Yeah.
I don't know where they are. Maybe they're outside. I think they're probably both outside, but that's Brody and Aja, my two fluffies, my two little babies.
No, it's most definitely. Guys, look here. I'm in Atlanta. I'm about to get faded tonight because it is my vacation. My birthday's next week, and I'm gonna have a damn good time this weekend. So with that being said, guys, as we always do on this show, first things first, we want to give a shout out to Street Scores ATL, Rico for coming on to the show. Shout out to the pups making an appearance on the show as well. Andre, my man, thank you for subscribing to the channel. Appreciate it, man. As we always do, guys, left hand up for we, the Commanders. Peace.